do you meet a lot of people like through plumbing? Because you obviously said you met the one guy who
Yeah,
writes erotic novels and he's a multi-millionaire.
his wife
Is that
does. Let's
correct?
not air it out too much. His wife does. She's very successful, but he took me fishing, and I actually consider him a friend now. It's really cool. Like I do meet people that way, um, but like mostly mostly weirdos, you know. Um, Actually, kind of a funny story. Pretty recently, a few weeks ago, my boss and I went to do like just kind of a typical service call. We work for a restoration company, so we fix a lot of like houses that may have flooded or houses that have had like burn damage or something, and so they're remodeling. And so we went to fix this house that had some flood damage, and being in Spokane, you meet a lot of drug addicts and stuff, and this particular guy was obviously on something, probably meth, and he kept like dipping back into his room, and then he would come out and just kind of bullshit. And he kept like he would come out, and
Mm,
I wasn't really. I was doing the work, and my boss was kind of doing the talking. And my
okay.
boss doesn't really like when people are kind of hovering over us. And my boss was like, "All right, man, like whatever. Like I don't know. I think it's time to back off a little bit." And this guy was like consistently saying like we were full of shit and that we were doing something wrong. And he was like, he just literally kept saying like, that's bullshit. Like you guys are full of shit. And then he would like dip back into his room and then come out acting all spazzy, and fucking literally like I was like trying to rush through because I was getting really sketched out. I hate being around drug addicts. I hate being around sketchy people. And it was like this guy was obviously on something.
Yeah.
So he was actually kind of getting in my boss's face, and
Jeez.
my boss really isn't somebody to kind of back down, and I kind of am. Like I'll kind of like settle a situation and just like get out of the general vicinity.
Mm.
And so I fix this problem really fast. We get the water back onto the house, and this guy's like, no, you're full of shit. Like I don't want to even see your bill. I don't want to see this. Like get out. And not saying get out, but like just actually like telling us like we're doing it wrong.
Wait, after you fixed it, no problem?
After I fixed it, no problem, no more leaks, nothing. Like
Was it easy fix?
yeah, like he just needed water back to his washer, like his washer
Wow.
and dryer. He needed to wash clothes, whatever, obviously. But
Okay.
he just was like really insisting that we were full of shit. And my boss was like kind of stepping up to him like, "Hey man, like shut up." We're actually explaining the situation to him too, like what was going on. And this guy was like getting in his face,
Mm.
and by the end of it, I was just like, boss man, we got to get the fuck out of here. Like this is escalating too quickly because, like I said, my boss isn't one to back down.
Yeah.
I wanted to get out because it kind of just looks bad for the company. We don't want to look bad to the owner of the restoration company, and so it was just one of those situations where like we don't want to work for this guy anymore, and it's just we got to get out of here. So I kind of like I literally kind of pulled my boss out of this guy's face, and it was just like you don't always meet the nicest homeowners, you know what I mean?
Jeez. Would your boss fucked him up?
I think so. I mean, my boss is pretty strong. He's kind of like I said, he's not one to back down.
Yeah, dude, guys that fucking work in like physical labor their whole life, dude, you'd be surprised
For
how
sure.
strong
My
they
boss
are,
has been in
dude.
it for almost 50 years. Also, and then I told my boss too, like I've been around some drug addicts. Like you don't really want to mess with the meth head strength, you know, because that guy could be on some stuff we don't know about.
Yeah. You see,
So.
so you think he was popping back into the room, doing meth, coming back out?
100%. 100%. I know he was, dude. He was whacked out. And he just kept saying, nah, you're full of shit. I don't even want to see your bid, man. I don't even want to see it. Whatever you're saying,
Fuck.
you're wrong. You're full of shit.
Did he like look like a crazy bastard or
Yes, bro. And he had like cat shit all over his basement. His basement was disgusting. And he had like a bunch of electronics and weird shit in his basement. Like you could tell he just gets super fucked up and high and just kind of takes gadgets apart and puts them back together. Because like, I don't know.
what? Every meth head thinks they're a genius. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know if you know any meth heads or have ever been, they like to work on shit, man. And this guy was obviously on some shit. And I would literally like almost was dragging my boss out the door. I was like, we got to get the fuck out of here, man.
Dude, just the thought of like him being like, no, you're full of shit. And he goes back in the room. He's like, maybe I was overreacting.
Dude,
No, they are full of shit, actually.
Well,
what the fuck?
You're kind of right, because he would come out and he'd be like, no, man, I'm not trying to cause any trouble. Like what's going on? And then my boss would tell him what we were fixing. And he'd be like, but we don't really like people like standing over us. And then he's like, whatever, man, you're full of shit. You're in my house. And he's like, yeah, we're in your house because we got called here.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's just one of those things where, I mean, they can't all be nice, so you got to kind of be prepared to deal with some crazies, unfortunately.
Yeah, fuck.
Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed that clip from The Doe Show. Be sure to check out another clip or check out the full episode. Peace out, bitches.